Good morning, everybody. I'm back. I know it has been so long, but I'm back now. Oh, I popped up on my computer, so let me make it large so I can see comments after I flip my phone. Good morning and welcome. I'm glad you have joined me. My name is Robbie Rabala, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Bern, North Carolina. Hey, Renee. I am so glad you are here. I'm going to give you a few minutes to let people come in, and I hope you have your beverage of choice. I have my tea and I have a glare. I see I have to keep my head down for my glasses. I didn't close my blinds behind me. I forgot. Hey, Julie. I'm excited about today's card. I love getting new supplies, but I'll be honest. Hey, Betty Ann, there are times that I love the paper, but I don't like the stamp set. The chic one is the one. Hey, Barb, I don't remember what it is. The paper is called, because I've got it right here. I just got it the other day. The paper is called Texture Chic. I haven't decided, hey, Barbara, about the stamp set that goes with it. But when I saw that paper, I thought I can use that paper with anything. So today's card, I'm going to show you how I took a paper that has no stamp set attached to it, and I'm using it with a stamp set, and I'll show you my thought processes as I went through. I love doing that so that I can help you extend the use of your products. I find I don't want to use the same paper and stamp set over and over and over again. I'm horrible. I use a stamp set 4 or 5 times and then I don't want to play with it anymore. I want something different. And when I have new catalogs, hey Nancy, it's hard not to order everything. So I try to extend the use of my products by doing that. So I hope I give you some ideas. If this is your first time watching me, please say hello and tell me where you're from. I love knowing where I am. I know Renee is in Australia, and I know Barb, Eddie, is right next door to me. And I think I saw Betty Ann in here. Betty Ann is in Maryland, but how about the rest of you? Where are you from? Today is going to be a great day because it's going to be rainy off and on. I am going to be spending time in my studio and crafting away. I've got a bunch of cards I want to make. I want to get things set up for my blog next week. I've got classes next month I want to do. I did cut my kits for this week's class. We're playing with watercolor pencils. I thought I'd give people some idea for other ways to color besides markers or blends, just because, you know, you probably bought those pencils years ago and they're sitting in a drawer. Well, I'm going to show them how to pull them out and use them. So that's, you know, that's kind of where I'm headed today. Let's see, what else? I'm still recuperating from my trip to Maryland to, hey, Linda, to see the girls. They wiped me out and they weren't there during the day, but it was the evening times and making sure that they get to bed on time so that they'll get up and go to school and things like that. So I'm still recuperating, but I'm getting there. It's better. I figured tomorrow will be my day to sleep in. I got back on Wednesday, couldn't sleep on Thursday. I had somebody come into the house, couldn't sleep in on Friday, had an appointment. This morning I had this, couldn't sleep in. So tomorrow I have nothing. I'm going to sleep in. Watch the dog get me up now. Although she's usually pretty good. I can usually say, no, it's too early, go back to bed, and she will. All right, let's see. I'm going to take another sip, and then I'm going to flip this around, and we'll get started. Love my tea. I have to work on my newsletter later this month, or later today too. I've got to do that after this. All right, now if you're the type that gets dizzy, time to close your eyes. Hey, Kim, so close your eyes while I do the flipping and I'll tell you when to open them. All right. Okay. Okay, all I have to, you can open them. All I have to do is adjust it a little bit. Ooh, not bad. Pull it back a little bit. All right, for today's card, I'm going to use Nature's Print, specifically the Hello There sentiment and this cute little flower. I am so glad this flower is in here. I love little tiny flowers for some reason. I use them a lot. So I'm using those on today's card. Now you can find that in your catalog on page 91. It does have a bundle. It's a bundle. It does come with dies that I've played with some, but not a whole lot. I want to play with those more. So I'm using that stamp set, not the dies, but I'm not using the paper that goes with it. And here's why. I'm using the Perfectly Penciled. Now this is a black and white paper, so you can color it. You can do all kinds of things with it. But I decided when I started looking for paper, and I'm going to move this out of the way, this is the paper I chose to use. And the reason I chose this is I imagined what that flower would look like when it was open all the way, and that's where I came up with. So I've tied it together with this image because this is what I think that flower would look like when it's open fully. So let's get started, okay? I've chosen a classic color combo. I'm going to stamp my flower in red. Now you can color this with blends. I decided not to, with markers. I decided not to because I didn't want to pull in a third color. All right, so I'm going to turn this because I turn it when I stamp it to make sure I get it on there correct. All right, so there's my image. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment with Hello There. Okay. So there is my Hello There, and I'm going to put that right in the middle. All right, now, you know what I didn't do? Hold on. I did not check to see. All right, let me see. All right, it's on. I got to watch how I stamp it. I love it when they have the bottom straight across. It makes it easy. So I have to, oops, it won't work that way. So I have to kind of stamp it a few times to play with it. And hopefully, I've learned a trick. All right, just so you know, this edge and this edge, if you have them on your paper straight, don't worry about this one. So kind of put those two on straight like that, and it'll come out straight. Always look for little hints for how to get those sentiments on straight. I'm going to add that to a piece of real red, and all my measurements will be posted afterwards along with the picture. And I forgot to look to see if I have a new refill for that. If not, my glue is here and I can use it. All right, now, I love this paper. Oh, thanks, Kim. I love this paper being black and white. You can color this. I have seen them do it, and I did it on a card. When did I do it? I don't remember when I did it, but I did do it on one. So you can color it. You can color this side also. If you want to have this to be red, you could just run over it with your red brayer or sponge blending brush. I couldn't think. But I chose to leave it black and white. I'm going with your classic black and white and red for today's card. All right, so we've got it. Now, this is going to go on like this on my card. So you don't see a whole lot of it. So that's another thing to think about. Don't spend time coloring this whole thing if you're going to cover it up. You can color around the edges if you want, but I can't see spending time coloring it if you're covering it up. And besides, I really kind of like the look of that. So I wanted to put a panel behind it, but it was kind of blah. So I pulled out my favorite brick and mortar embossing folder. Now I will tell you, this has to go through your machine this way, because if not, and I'm going to show you why, if you put it through this way, you end up cracking. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, put my hand on it. You end up cracking your plate, and it will eventually come apart. So just be mindful of that. I try not to, but every once in a while it happens. And because this goes on my card this way, I can't put it in this way because my bricks are going up and down. So I take and I turn it sideways, and now I'm going to emboss this. And I do not have the stamp and cut and emboss machine. I have 3 Big Shots, so I can't justify buying another embossing machine. So I'm using my Big Shot, and I have the old platform. I do have the magnetic one that we sold, but let me tell you what I did. Years ago, we would have dies or embossing folders that I would want to do something with. And I only needed this one. Well, I couldn't get to that one without having this one. So what I did was, on this end, there are screws. I took the screws out, and I'm trying to think which way it goes. It goes on like this. I took the screws out anyway, and I kept the screws in there because if I ever want to put it back together, I can. But it's not something I will do. But I kept all my pieces. So now, with our thicker plates, I have found that if I use the old platform with the number 2 tab, my embossing folder, and a plate on top, that it will go through perfectly. So if you have that old one, just play around with it. Take your screws out. I saved them. I did save them. I think there's a piece that attaches. I saved them, but I haven't. I've had it off for years. So there's that. And the other thing is if your plate cracks, don't get rid of them. I use plates that are cracked to do my embossing with, and I've had no issues. If you're going to use it and die cut, you do have to be careful. You can't have the crack over where you're cutting, because that will cause a problem. All right, so here is my background all done. And I hope that little hint, or I hope all the hints I share, give you some ideas and help you in your crafting. All right, now, this is going to go on here. And I've seen people use the seal glue. I use the tear and tape, or double-sided tape, I should say, is what it really is. And the reason being is if you turn this over, get it off, and look at this, you have plateaus and valleys. And if you run this down the side, excuse me, you're going to have some valleys that aren't going to pick up. Oh, thanks, Trudy. That isn't going to pick up the glue or the other things. Sorry. So I use the double-sided tape, because what happens is then that tape grabs the whole piece and you don't have to worry about the valleys. So I put it on with double-sided tape. The other thing I do is never use your good snips to cut scissors or yucky, sticky stuff. You will ruin them. Go buy, these are Fiskars. They're not cheap scissors, but they're decent scissors. Go buy a pair of scissors, and actually, hey Janice, I actually have 2 pair of scissors. This I use for cutting yucky stuff, and I use these for ribbon only. And these are by Tonic Studios. And I'll be honest with you, I got them years ago at Joann's with a coupon. So if you have a Joann's near you and you can get a coupon, hop in there and buy yourself some nice scissors that aren't going to cost you an arm and a leg, but that if they get ruined, it's no big deal. Oh, you're welcome, Linda. I like to clean this every once in a while, and I use, I'll start with hand sanitizer, and if that doesn't work, then I go to straight alcohol, and it cleans it. The reason you don't want to cut ribbon with your good snips, it dulls it. I was a sewer, and my mother was a sewer, and I can still hear her to this day yelling, "Don't use my good scissors with paper." Paper and ribbon and fabric don't mix. It will dull them. So you don't want to dull your scissors. You can sharpen them, but that's a pain if you don't have to. So just buy some extra scissors and keep them around for different things. I know some people don't care, but you know, if you craft a lot, it does make a difference. It goes dull very quickly. All right, now let's get this card put together. And I like this way, so I'm going to put it on. Oops, the bottom grabbed. That's why I open it. It was popped up. And I want to make sure I get it on there straight. All right, so I've got that. Now, time to add this one. And because this is going on an embossed piece, I'm going to use my double-sided scissors. Linda, isn't it funny how we remember the things our mother says? I can remember my mother, some really wild and crazy things she used to say, but that was the one thing that I remember the most, was to not use her sewing scissors for cutting paper. And we didn't. So, one of those things. All right, I'm going to get this put on here. So, what is your favorite paper in the new annual catalog? Doesn't matter if you have it or not, but what is your favorite in looking at that if you haven't placed an order, it will be the first paper you order out of it. I have gotten the Chic one, the Hues of Happiness one, the Perfectly Penciled, which is the black and white, the masculine one. And I'll be honest with you, I do not like that masculine set. I don't have a need for it. I love the nautical ones, so I kept those. But the masculine paper has punch outs. Now when I put this on, I must put it on upside down. And you can very easily use those punch outs to create your masculine cards without having the stamp set. Ooh, the Nature's Print, the Sun Prints paper I have, and I also have the Pretty Prints. Those are ones that I have gotten so far. I haven't gotten the Abigail Rose, Trudy, but I have seen some gorgeous cards with it, and it is tempting me big time. I have a tendency to order the paper first. I like the paper. I love playing with the paper, and I love showing how you can order or how you can use the paper you have with other stamp sets. We have to extend the use of our supplies, especially in this day and age. Money's tight right now. You know, when you're paying outrageous amounts of money for gas. I was talking to my friend in Australia, and it was interesting because she was saying that she paid, I think she said it was $2.50 for a liter of gas. And I told her ours was over $4 a gallon. So I said, I wonder what the conversion will be. Well, she figured it out. I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. And she said that a gallon of gas in Australia would be $10 US money. I went, oh my gosh, I don't think I'll ever complain about our gas again. I just was astounded, and I forgot to bring my rhinestones over because it's got to have some bling. All right, I'm going to put a big one right here in the middle, and then I'm going to sprinkle on some small ones. And I got a lot of small ones, so I think I'm going to use just a bunch of small ones. I'll keep the middle one, the middle-sized ones. All right, come on. I'm not certain I like these new plastic sheets for these. I don't think they stick as well as the paper ones. My, which was it? The brass butterflies, they were all over the place. They didn't stick at all. All right, I need one more because I only have 4 and it's got to be an odd number. All right, I think I'll put it here. It's in between the two. Try not to line your rhinestones up in a straight line either way, and always use odd numbers. But there is our card for today. And like I said, you can color this, but it's all hidden, and I think it looks fine just the way it is. So what do you think? You could easily do this. Oh, this would be pretty in Flirty Flamingo or the purples. So lots of different ways. Thanks, Linda, that you can take a simple layout, add some embossing, and you don't really have to do the embossing. Thanks, Barb. Hues of Happiness, Renee. Yeah, I love that paper. I didn't order the stamp set and the dies when I ordered the paper, and then I went back and ordered the stamp set and the dies because I found I really like playing with those. I'm usually not one that likes big images that you have to color in. It's just, I'm not a colorer. I love to, but I don't do it very often on my cards. So, what, do you know of another stamp set that you could use with this? I was looking at the, this one, and I was thinking, well, there's nothing that says you can't use this image with it or this image there. If you use the Fern embossing folder, you could use this one and do it in greens. You know, so lots of ideas. I did a card that I posted in here Friday, I think it was, Thursday or Friday, I don't remember which. And what I did was I took a card that I had made in last year's In Colors, and I remade it with this year's In Colors. In fact, Kim commented, because I had used Sweet Sorbet with the Orchid Oasis. And she says, I wonder what it would look like if you use the Sweet Sorbet with, I think it was Daffodil in the center. And I was thinking, ooh, that might be interesting to try because I'm thinking it would turn it orange. Because that's the thing that happens, you know, when you mix those colors, they turn orange. So I hope that gave you some ideas and that you'll think about how you can take what you have and use it with other things. Oh, crushed curry, yes. So I couldn't remember, Kim. It was just now, and I saw it, and it's like, oh, I got to go back and respond to that. So I'm going to give that one a try and see how it goes. Take my cards, guys, remake them your way. I mean, take this layout, remake it, and share it with us. The Hues of Happiness, Renee, would look gorgeous done up like this. So there's the one with the navy background that would be beautiful with this. So lots of ideas. I love sharing them with you. All right, now I'm going to flip this up. So if you get dizzy, close your eyes, and I'll let you know when you can open them. All right, here I go. All right. Okay, open them. I got to tighten that. It was on there. So I hope I've given you some ideas. Today's a great day to play. I don't know what the weather's like where you are. Oh, a rose plant with those colors, Kim. That's interesting. Oops, sorry. I hit the wrong thing. That's interesting. Might be. Might have to try that and see. So, try my ideas, share them with us. We can only create so many ideas. And I don't know about you, I am always checking out other stampers and seeing what they do. Trudy, you want to be in my video? Yeah, the deep yellow, I bet, would be gorgeous. So, Trudy, respond. If you want to be in my video, I can pull you in, but it says you wanted to be in my video. So, I don't know if you hit something wrong or what, or if you're going to share something. Okay. It's easy to hit those buttons, believe me. I had somebody join and it said, bring them on camera, and I did it, and the person about freaked out, and they said, no, no, no. So she had to approve it anyway. So it was one of my first times of doing lives, and it's like, there's all these new buttons. It's like, what do they do? You don't know. All right. I hope you have a great weekend, guys. I hope it's not going to rain all weekend for you. It will for us. But that's okay. I got lots of new goodies over here to play with, and I will be playing and making all kinds of things. So have a great weekend. I will be back next Saturday. I'm not going anywhere next weekend, so I'm here. I am gone the end of the month. Going back to see the, oh, you're welcome, Kim. Going back to see my daughter from California, and her family's coming in. And so the whole family's going to get together. We only get to do this about once a year because of the way things work out. So I'm going to spend a week up there, but that's okay. That's the holiday weekend, and most people wouldn't want to be on here anyway. You're going to be out partying and everything. So have a great weekend. See you next Saturday, 10:30. Bye.